Hey, welcome back. It's Jason Walter here. In today's video, I'm actually out at the Sacramento American River Parkway because it's a beautiful day out here. But I thought I'd share what's happening right now in our U.S. housing market based on a brand new report from Redfin. In this report here, just posted today, which is December 21st, it says declining mortgage rates are luring sellers off the sidelines, which is, in their opinion, is going to make it more favorable for buyers next year because rates are down and also new listings are also increasing as well. But also share the stats though in today's video because this is a little bit challenging to say here because new listings are still down compared to pre-pandemic levels, and also there's still less houses for sale right now compared to 1 year ago. So in today's video, I'm going to talk about what's happening right now regarding home prices on a national level, inventory levels, new listings, pending home sales, and of course the share of price reductions in today's video. If you guys get any value out of today's video, then please hit the like button. I greatly appreciate that. And also consider subscribing as well because I post frequent housing market updates so you guys can make a more informed decision about whether to buy or sell a house right now. Okay, let's first talk about home prices because according to Redfin, home sold prices are up by 4.2% year over year. Again though, one of the reasons why prices are up compared to 1 year ago is because prices were tanking at this time last year. That's one reason why we're up on a year-over-year basis. On top of that, we're about at $364,000 and has been paid at around $362,000 to around $364,000 for about a month now. So let's talk a little bit more regarding home prices on a national level here and talk about how each of the 50 most populous metros fare because there's some very big differences. I mean, drastically different differences here. So out of the 50 most populous US metros right now, Anaheim, California has seen the biggest increases in prices compared to 1 year ago, up by a whopping 16% year over year. Absolutely insane. One thing I will add here is that Anaheim, California, the median sold price is not $300,000. It is actually at $1.08 million. So a giant increase of 16% is a very big number, especially compared to 1 year ago. On top of that, that's also very close to all-time record highs as well, which is absolutely crazy. In contrast, the metro area that has experienced the biggest decreases in prices compared to 1 year ago is, of course, Austin, Texas. It has been in the #1 spot for quite some time, and it's down by 4.5% year over year. Now, I also want to talk about how Anaheim compares to Austin, Texas right now, because looking at prices in Anaheim, again, at $1.08 million, again, very close to all-time record highs. In stark contrast, though, Austin, Texas, they're at $431,000 compared to last year's peak, which was more or less in May last year. It was at $567,000. That equates to a giant decrease of $136,000 or a decline of 24% compared to last year's all-time record highs. One thing to keep in mind regarding Austin, Texas is that when looking at Redfin for inventory levels, inventory is down by 5% on a year-over-year basis. If I'm only sharing that with you guys, you would assume that inventory is down, has been decreasing for quite some time, potentially, right? When looking at inventory though, last year though, get this, I just noticed this today. So inventory is down 5% year over year, but it tripled from February through August last year, going from about 4,000 houses for sale back in February and increasing to about 12,000 homes for sale by the time we hit August. So in 6 months, inventory levels in Austin, Texas tripled, which is absolutely insane. And keep in mind, this is excluding brand new home construction, the supply of houses actually for sale for new houses. So Redfin, as far as I know, only looks at existing houses and not brand new home construction. So accounting for all the building that's going on in Austin, Texas, they probably have a much higher number of houses for sale compared to 1 year ago, when accounting for the fact that we have a lot of building going on in Austin, Texas. Whereas Anaheim, California is an older neighborhood. There's not a lot of building going on there. So I actually looked at stats regarding Anaheim, California as well. So again, Austin is down 5% year over year, but that's actually after the giant increase we saw last year, a tripling of inventory levels last year. In stark contrast, in Anaheim, inventory is down by 30% on a year-over-year basis. This, of course, is one of the reasons why home prices have reached very close to all-time record highs and is up by 16.1% year-over-year. So in any case, let's have a look at the other cities here. So the number 2 spot for the highest increases in prices compared to 1 year ago is actually in Newark, New Jersey, up by 15%. After that, we have Fort Lauderdale, Florida, a gain of 12.5%. Miami, up by 12%. And Nassau County, New York, up by 11%. So 5 of the top 50 markets are up by more than 10%. In contrast, again, Austin, Texas, the biggest decrease, down by 4.5%. After that, we have San Antonio, Texas, down by 3%. Houston, Texas, down by 1.2%. And Fort Worth, Texas, down by 0.2%. So the only metros that are down on a year-over-year basis were 4 metros, and every single one of those was located in Texas. Okay, let's talk a little bit more regarding the average monthly housing payment, because of course, over the past 2 months, rates have been decreasing, although prices more or less have not been decreasing very much at all. But because rates have fallen greatly over the past couple months though, this means your average monthly housing payment of would-be home buyers has decreased. So your average payment is at $2,472 per month at a 6.95% interest rate. That, by the way, was the interest rate that Freddie Mac posted 1 week ago. But keep in mind though, on today, which is on Thursday, Freddie Mac posted this week's rates, and the average rate this week decreased from 6.95% to 6.67%. That's also very close to today's rates. According to the Mortgage News Daily, they reported the average rate today for people with great credit is at 6.66%. In any case, because rates have been decreasing compared to the highs we saw from about 2 months ago, the average home buyer is going to save approximately $264 per month to buy an average price home today compared to 2 months ago. And by the way, please leave me a comment below with your thoughts regarding today's video. In general, I make my videos in the office, but it's such a beautiful day here. I just wanted to be outside and kind of share this beautiful scenery with you guys. But please leave me a comment below. Do you guys like these videos? Or do you want me to stay in my office and just make my typical videos I make? Please leave me a comment below. I appreciate you. Okay, with that said, let's talk about pending home sales, new listings, as well as active listings. So according to Redfin, pending home sales decreased by 7% on a year-over-year basis, whereas new listings increased by 9.4%. That, by the way, is the biggest increase since July of 2021. However, the increase is partly because new listings were falling much faster at this time last year. If you guys look at a chart looking at the number of new listings, which I'll pull up on the screen here, new listings have been decreasing ever since really the fall or the summer months this year. So even though we're up on a year-over-year basis, it has been decreasing ever since the summer months this year. All right, so let's have a look at how each of the 50 most populous metros fared, because pending home sales increased the most on a year-over-year basis in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, up by 5.8%. After that, we have Philadelphia, Dallas, Austin, Texas, and Detroit. In contrast though, pending home sales decreased the most on a year-over-year basis. People are looking at me like I'm crazy. Is Providence, Rhode Island. So Providence, Rhode Island, pending home sales decreased by nearly 18%. After that, we have Jacksonville, Florida, down by 17.4%. Newark, New Jersey, New Brunswick, New Jersey, and Oakland, California, down by 12.2%. Let's have a look at new listings. So new listings increased big time in Phoenix, Arizona, up by 25.3%. That's absolutely astonishing. Orlando, Florida is up by 23%. Miami is up by 21%. After Miami, Florida, we have San Antonio, Texas, up by 20%. And Montgomery County, Pennsylvania, up by 17.3%. In contrast, the metros that experienced the biggest decreases in the number of new listings on a year-over-year basis was San Francisco, down by 29%. After that, we have Atlanta, Georgia, down by 13.9%. And Indianapolis, Indiana, down by 11.1%. After that, we have Virginia Beach, Virginia, down by 5.4%. And Oakland, California, down by 5.1%. Something I noticed as well is that the number of new listings has increased on a year-over-year basis for 39 of the 50 biggest metros. only 11 metros experienced a decrease in new listings. Now, something you guys should be aware of though is that even though the number of new listings is up by about 9% year over year, the number of houses for sale is still down by about 4.5% on a year-over-year basis. So even though the number of new listings has increased year over year, that's not really telling us the true current trends we're experiencing right now, because new listings again have been decreasing even though they're up compared to 1 year ago. So even though we're seeing an uptick in new listings, there's not more houses for sale for home buyers right now. Now, speaking of housing inventory, let's talk about the month supply. So the month supply on a national level is at 4 months. This is roughly on par with a year ago, a small increase of 0.2. So 1 year ago, the month supply was at 3.8 months. Now it's at 4 months. Let's also talk about how fast or how slow houses are selling right now. So the median days in the market, this is a time frame when you list your home for sale until you accept an offer from a home buyer. That's at 38 days. That's about 2 days faster compared to a year ago. So houses on average are still selling faster compared to this time frame in 2022. So not only are houses selling faster compared to 12 months ago, but also they're selling for over the asking price more so than last year's levels. So the percentage of houses that sold over the past 4 months, or 4 weeks, I should say, that sold over the seller's asking price was at 25.6%. 1 year ago, that was at 24%. One thing to keep in mind though is that even though this is higher compared to 1 year ago, this still means that about 75% of the houses that sold for less than the seller's asking price. And just to share a personal example regarding houses selling for less than the asking price, we actually just got an offer accepted yesterday for a client who got his offer accepted for less than the seller's asking price. It was on the market for about 30 days. So of course we wrote an offer for less than the asking price and came in at a price that the seller and the buyer were happy with, but it still was less than the seller's asking price. 1 year ago, or 1.5 years ago, this would be virtually non-existent because in Sacramento, at least, houses on average are selling well above the asking price, especially in the spring months of 2022, when people are writing crazy offers, writing offers with no contingencies whatsoever. And on top of that, getting 10 to 12 offers on a property, it was absolutely insane. So at least there's some benefits right now regarding the slowdown because you have this opportunity to buy houses for less than the asking price, whereas 1 year ago, 2 years ago, it was very challenging for home buyers. And lastly, let's talk about the average list price to final list price ratio, because that ratio is at 98.6% over the past 4 weeks. This means on average for the houses that sold, they sold for 1.4% below the seller's final list price. That's actually an increase of 0.5 points compared to 1 year ago. So please leave a comment below with your biggest takeaways from today's video. Also, do you guys like these videos? Do you want me to make more vlogs like this? Personally, I love being outside and it's a really beautiful day here in Sacramento. And this actually reminds me of my videos I used to make here in Sacramento, doing neighborhood tours about the greater Sacramento area. But if you want to make more videos like these, please leave me a comment below. Hope you guys have an awesome day. Like and subscribe. I appreciate you, and we'll see you in the next video.